What's up, everybody? Peacemaker here. Welcome to SkinClub YouTube channel. My name is Luis Peacemaker, and today we're going to be talking about the major Blast TV Austin Major 2025. What were the biggest surprises and disappointments out of all these stages? We've had many, right? This major has been a roller coaster of emotions in every aspect, with a lot of upsets and surprising results between all the stages. But more importantly, we still have a long way until the major is over. And today we're going to be talking about all the stages. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to try to predict what I think is going to be the biggest surprises out of stage 3 and maybe onto the end of the major. And then we'll see after the major is over if I was wrong or not. But for now, we can start out by talking about stage 1. And in this stage, spots wise, were there any surprises? Teams that have qualified to stage 2 that maybe shouldn't be there? I think first, heavy disappointment, bad surprise was the performance from Metisport in this particular tournament, right? Going out 0-3 was a heavy disappointment. I don't know exactly what happened with this roster, but the result speaks for itself. Demolished by Wildcard, completely dominated by Tyloo, and then 2-0 to Imperial, who ended up being eliminated right after this match. Metisport, I don't know what's next for them, but this was a hell of a disappointment considering how well this roster did online. And there's already rumors that they might be replacing Adam B. But honestly, for me, the worst performer out of this team in the major was probably Isaac. I really didn't like his performance, being completely honest. But yeah, Metisport, our first big disappointment. I didn't expect them to go through, but definitely not a 0-3 in my books. So there you go. Then going back to the list, we would have Complexity Right playing with a standing. I didn't expect them to be this bad. I thought they could actually had a chance. I thought they actually had a chance, considering how well they did prior to the major. It is pretty disappointing. It kind of proves how important it is to have, your actual roster, the importance of Hauser to the team, and all of that, right? Yeah, heavy disappointment. Especially for being a major in an A. Complexity is from Texas, and yeah, also actually no NA teams have gone through the stage 2. Now that I'm thinking, right, Wildcard is out, NRG is out as well. I guess we can put NA as a massive disappointment, massive bad surprise at the stage. I thought between all these American teams, I would say Wildcard was probably the best. Could have definitely made it. And then if we're talking about massive surprises, very good surprises, I have to say Legacy is probably the best one. And we're going to be talking about them again, because if you think they stopped at stage 1, you're completely wrong. So Legacy will be my the highlight out of stage 1 in my opinion, considering they haven't really qualified for the major, right? They shouldn't even be there. They're there because Bissett didn't apply for the visas early enough to get the visas on time, ended up not being there, ended up not being able to be there. Now Legacy got their spot, and they have been doing amazingly well. But I also want to give a shout out to the Chinese teams, Link Vision and Tylo, for sure. They did really well at the stage 1. Both of them making through is huge, right? Eliminating FlyQuest as well. One of them, I think it was Tyler, right, that played against FlyQuest in a local matchup. They always face each other. Tyler ended up eliminating FlyQuest, which is huge for them. So yeah, that's it for stage 1, and then we go to stage 2. Stage 2 is massive. How to start? I guess we can start with Legacy. Let's start with a positive surprise. What the hell just happened with this roster? Like, when we saw them on stage 1, we were all thinking like, yeah, sure, like, maybe the honeymoon period from stage from not being able to be there to you know, to out of a sudden participating in a major. They must be really hyped. And they were playing against some of the tiers, like the teams from the tiers that they're used to playing against. It's not like it's a massive match that they're beating way stronger opponents or anything like that. All the matches they played were doable. Let's put it like that. But then we go to stage two, and and then we have Legacy going 3-0. I mean, what can we say? And not only that, they went 3-0 by beating Phase 2-0. Phase 2-0. Nobody thought they would be capable of beating Phase. Imagine 2-0, not even losing a map. And their run is solid as well. They beat 3D Max on a match that they played against them in IEM Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, and they lost not too long ago, right? So, you know, there you go, 2-1. Not even a month ago. So, being able to beat 3D Max and then 2-0 Phase, that is legit. Now they have Vitality moving forward. If they manage to beat Vitality and stop their run, that would be crazy. But you know, Brazilians like crazy stuff. They dream and they believe it all the way. You never know. BO1, you never know. Just leave it up in the air. But yeah, Legacy, what a massive surprise. What an achievement, and it's gonna be really great for them moving forward because they're gonna get so many points. They're gonna be playing a lot more tournaments in the second season, so we're gonna be seeing a lot more out of this roster in the coming future. Then moving forward, we have VP 3-0 as well. I was surprised actually because I thought this roster was under a make or break kind of thing up until this major. You know, it would be hit or miss, and they actually hit it, and they hit hard. They did really well. So congrats to VP as well. And then Furia, I expected. Pain Gaming did surprise me a little bit because they bootcamped in Brazil, and they had so many roster issues lately that I personally had no expectations out of them, and they also did it. That was great. 3D Max has been playing good lately, and then we have FaZe in the last spot. I mean, they did what they are supposed to do, honestly. Considering the investment in that roster and the players they have, they almost went out, right? It was really, really close. But then we go to the bad surprises. When we're talking about bad surprises, we obviously have to highlight Falcons. What the hell just happened with this team? Like, how do you lose? How do you lose to MIBR in a BO3? Like, I can maybe accept the fact you lose a BO1 bait who has been playing well in the stage 1, and you're not warmed up first day in the office, maybe not a good day, and then they go and lose to Lean Vision in the same day, and then everybody's like, wow, how the hell is this happening? Can they actually do it? Just an off day, in the office, whatever. Then they go and almost shit the bed against OG as well. Like, it's not like their wins have been, convincing at all. Like, they lose a map 13-11 by being up 9-3 on first half. They get a massive comeback from OG, and then they go to Nuke. They win 13-10, and then they won convincingly on Mirage. But still, this could have been a disaster. This could have been a 0-3, literally. Then they go to the next day and they play MIBR, who's been, I mean, it's a relatively new roster who has had tons of issues as well, changing IGLs, bringing a new coach, bringing BRN back to the roster. I mean, if you compare the pay shacks as well, it's just mental, right? Like, and the result speaks for itself. Like, what Falcons has been able to do with such a short period of time, ever since Monesi joined the roster, surely something happened between the 24th of May until now. Something must have happened because, and many people are talking about, Monesi changing his sleepy schedule or whatever the fuck it is. But it's like, sorry for the word, but it's like, it's crazy. Like, that something really serious happened with this roster in a period of like 2 or 3 weeks. Something drastic changed because the way they played on the server was, it almost felt like it's match fixing, honestly. Like, as they didn't feel like they were connected. It didn't feel like it's Falcons. So Yeah, Falcons just massive, massive disappointment. The biggest for now. For now. Who knows, right? Yeah. So Falcons has to be highlighted, right? And then we get. I mean, considering how the first stage was, I did get a little bit disappointed with Betboom. I expected more from them. M80 as well, from already being on the stage two. Also, the only NA team participating. Again, really poor performances. I do not making it expected. Heroic also disappointing considering how well they played online. Bait was a hell of a disappointment towards the end of the last matches. I don't know, like something unplugged in that team. That suddenly they just couldn't play well on 3 or 4 maps all of a sudden. Like their Dust 2, who's been really that's been really good online, just went complete garbage in a matter of 2 days just because they lost to Fury or something, and then they couldn't play today against. I think they lost to an Amiga or something. Right? Yeah, they lost an Amiga today, and then it's just like, yeah, no, they lost to Lean Vision, and I think they also lost to an Amiga, something like that. But it's just crazy. Like, and then they have problems with their map pool. They can't play Train Eater. So yeah, I mean, it's expected in that aspect, but I expected more considering how well they did on the first stage. Then I think that's pretty much it for stage three. We talked about majority of the teams, not all of them, but majority of the teams. And then obviously Lean Vision for being the first. I mean, not the first, but like just the fact that they were able to make it to stage three, guarantee another spot for China. And China and Asia in general has been growing a lot, right? We see more and more teams cut out of the region, out of nowhere. And I think that has something to do with the Mongols. The practice quality has probably improved significantly. Some of these teams having more chances of participating in international events. ESL Pro League does a great job in that aspect, right? Having there's always a lot of spots for them, and I think they have been growing a lot. They're learning a lot somehow, right? Because it's been a decade until we finally get to see Asia representing their country, the region in a very good way. So congrats to them. Yeah. But yeah, then now we before we wrap up the video, we have stage three, which is going to be starting tomorrow, and we have some very interesting teams on this list. And I'm just gonna predict one team that I think is going to surprise, which obviously does in a bad surprise. It could be Vitality going 0-3 at this point. Like, why not, right? Like we've seen it all. I guess we've seen it all in this major so far. But nah, I don't believe in fairy tales. Do you? Vitality 0-3 can it actually happen? And like it's impossible. I was talking to my viewers yesterday, and I was just like, honestly, if the same amount of upsets happens on stage three in a way where I don't know, like Vitality, Mouse, and Spirit is out of playoffs or something crazy like that, then you might as well just forget about everything that happened in the past 6 months or something. Throw it in the trash, and I don't know. We don't know about Counter-Strike anymore. We don't understand Counter-Strike. Like, what the hell is going on, right? So yeah, I don't believe in that. I think that whatever happened on stage two is going to stay there. I think Vitality will be a favorite. Same goes with Mouse and Spirit. But in terms of a very good surprise, considering their last few results, I think I'm going to give it. I know you guys are going to say I'm biased, but I'm going to give it to the Brazilian teams. I think they're living in a moment, in a very good. They have a very good momentum going, a lot of confidence, and once they hit that confidence level and they play well together and they have the energy, we have the passion. I think that they will, one or two of them will do damage on stage three, even though they're going to be playing against some of the best teams. I do have high expectations out of Furia and especially Legacies. So those two, I think they're going to surprise a lot. The quality they're going to bring is going to surprise a lot of people. And teams that I think are going to be disappointing, well, I just have to say it, right? I think G2 on the brink of changing the roster, already knowing that there's going to be roster changes after the major. I guess I'm just going to, I mean, for some people, I know it's not going to be a surprise, but considering how well they are in the ranking, I think they're just going to shit the bed, honestly. I think G2 is going to be a massive disappointment. Hopefully, I'm wrong. because I really like Mobs and I hope he does well. But I just have this feeling. And then the next one, it's a bonus. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the Liquid. I think Liquid. I don't know this Liquid roster as well. Like ever since Neff gave that interview saying that some roster, some changes might happen after the major, blah blah blah. It doesn't feel like they have a good chemistry, a good vibes in the team. I don't know. I got that feeling out of that interview. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say G2 and Liquid are gonna shit the bed, and they're gonna be a massive disappointment. Maybe both of them go 0-3. Who knows, right? Everything's possible with this major. So there you go. I just want to know from you guys. Leave it in the comments below if you guys agree with me. Do you think G2 and Liquid are gonna do well? Who do you think is going 3-0? Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.